Good morning, everyone. So my report is all about the classroom climate. So when we say classroom climate, it refers to the overall intellectual, social, emotional, and physical atmosphere shaped inside a classroom by the interaction of the teacher and student. So we have a few objectives here, able to identify the factors to consider in making favorable classroom environment, and know how can an educator promote a facilitative learning in his her classroom. So classroom climate, environmental factors. So we have here the main classroom climate environmental factors: physical, the material, organizational, operational, and the social variable. So when we say physical, it's about the layout, the word physical, the layout, the lighting, the ambience inside the classrooms, seating arrangement, cleanliness, and so on. So for material, is the ability and quality of learning resources such as the textbooks, technology, and the classroom supplies. When needed, it is available when needed. For example, you are doing an activity, and all the necessary materials are already in the classroom. So organization. The next is the organizational. How the class is structured, including the rules, the schedules, the routines, and the classroom management system. Next is the operational. So operational is the way the classroom functions daily. The operation, including instructional methods and teacher responsiveness and time management. The next is the social variables. Refers to the quality of relationship. The quality of relationship between and communication between the teacher and student, the mutual respect and the emotional safety among students and between students and teachers. Next is what's the classroom climate? Classroom climate is as the intellectual, social, emotional, and physical environment in which our students learn by Ambrose and colleagues. Classroom climate refers to the overall intellectual, social, emotional, and physical atmosphere shaped by the interaction between teachers and students inside the classroom. Sometimes it is also referred to as the learning environment, as well as by terms such as the ambience, the ecology, and the milieu. By the way, milieu refers to the personal environment. That's what it means. Next is we have the key concept for understanding the classroom climate. So we have a lot. First, we have social system organization. And social system organization is how people in the classroom, the student and the teacher, interact and work together as a group. The social interaction. Next is the social attitudes. Refers to the general feelings or mindset people have towards each other. That's what it means. And staff and student morale. Staff and student morale is the overall mood or spirit. How motivated, how happy and positive teachers and students feel. The morale. Power, control, guidance. Next, the power, control, guidance, support, and evaluation structure. That refers to who makes decision, how discipline and support are given, and how student progress is assessed. We have given the keywords, the control, guidance, and support. Okay. Next is you have the curricular and instructional practices. Curricular and structural practices. It refers to the teaching methods and materials used to support the learning. the learning and as the instructional practices. So it refers to the teacher's teaching method and materials used during to support the learning of the students. So next is we have the communicative expectations. It refers to what teachers make clear about behavior, the effort, and the learning goals as the expectation, as the in that sense expectations. So next is the efficacy. I know we have the next is we have the student and teacher efficacy. Okay, we have the student and teacher efficacy. So efficacy is student and teacher efficacy is how confident and how confident teacher and student feel about their ability to succeed and make a difference. Also, next is we have the accountability demands. Accountability demands. So from the word accountability, so the level of responsibility students and teachers have to meet certain standards or goals. So cohesion is we have the sense of unity and teamwork in a classroom. For competition is the degree to which students are encouraged to outperform one another, to compete rather than to collaborate. So one of the concepts here is focused more on competition rather than to collaborate. So next is the fit between learner needs and classroom variables. This means about how well the classroom environment meets the needs of the individual students, like the learning style, the abilities, and the talents, and so on. So we have to. So the word it means that we have to cater, or we have to cater the diversity between students to address their strengths and weaknesses. So system maintenance, growth, and next is the system maintenance, growth, and change. So this means how well the classroom runs smoothly. Ayaw na ba?
Cut na lang.
Okay, no. So again, the system maintenance, growth, and change. So it refers to how a classroom runs smoothly, adapts over time, and improves. It's to be maintained and also evolve. No, it needs to evolve along with time. So just like the technology, no, and just a short amount of time, the technology evolves folds, 2 folds, 3 folds, depending on the era. No, let's just say imagine how technology in the 2000s and imagine how it is today. No, it's not just about the people's life, but also in the learning environment. We have to evolve as well. So, next is for the orderliness. So, orderliness, the presence of structures, refers to the presence of structures and routines in an organized setting for learning. No, the classroom environment should adopt orderliness, the word order. No, in order to function well, there should be an order. Next is safety. Okay, this is the last one, safety. So safety refers to the extent to which student feels physically or emotionally secure. No, it's about the not just the emotional but also physical. How safety they feel inside the classroom. No, you have to take note on that so these are the key concepts understanding classroom classmates. So we have to take note on all of the concept uh, because slip out of this concept like the safety. No, it creates the students develop or it creates nuances that when student feels something uncomfortable, anxiety, instead they take out the focus on learning to them. So instead of like for example, you have the classroom here, when the ventilation doesn't work, I don't think you can focus on the lesson while you are sweating, in your seat, right? So that's one of the example. The student needs to be valued, not just about like for example the culture, the background, and so on. They need to be they need to feel that they're safe, respected, comfortable, and so on. So next is we have the most three dimensions of classroom climate. Now, according to Rudolf Moose in 1979, those concepts earlier is grouped into three elements, three key dimensions used to assess and understand human environments, including school and classroom climate. So the three dimensions are relationship dimension. The second is personal development dimension. The third one is the system, maintenance, and change dimension. So we will go through each one of them. So the first is the relationship dimension. It focuses on the quality and depth of personal relationship in the classroom. So focusing on interaction, socially, emotionally. So it looks at how students and teachers are involved, support one another, and create a sense of community. From the word relationship. Okay. Next is the personal development. It refers to the ways in which the environment promotes students' growth, the learning, and self-improvement. From the word personal development refers to the ability of the person to level up, encourage skill building, and independence and confidence. Self-development. It's refers to the concept that promotes self-development to student as well as the teacher, not just the student, but also the teacher. Because learning does an end. The third one is we have the system, maintenance, and change dimensions. So from the word system, maintenance, and change, all the concepts that related to maintenance and change belongs here. So it refers it describes how organized, stable, and adaptable the classroom is. Okay. It's more on the management and order on this dimension. So it includes the clarity of rules, the behavior, expectations, and structure and responsiveness to how to new needs or challenges. Adaptability of the environment refers is in this dimension. Okay, next we have the Measuring Classroom Climate by Fraser in 1988 and Freiberg in 1999. According to them, the teacher and student, in order to measure the classroom climate, there's a teacher and student perception. Next is the external observer ratings and systematic coding. And next is the naturalistic an ethnography, case study, and then interpretative assessment techniques. So the first one is the teacher and student perception. No? This means that asking the student and the teacher what they think or feel about the classroom. No? For example, it's a question that we need to ask: do students feel safe and respected? Right? The another question is: does the teacher think the class is friendly and focused? And this can be found out using these questions can be done using surveys and interviews. No? You have to interview the teacher, the subject, the main subject here, the student, and the teacher. That's how. So from the word teacher and student perceptions, so their views, the views of the student and the teacher inside the classroom environment. So next is we have the external observer ratings. External observer ratings and systematic coding. So this means that having someone outside from the class to come in and watch what's happening inside. So they may take notes and use checklists or special method to rate how the class behaves and etc. Such as so these are also the questions that the observer need to focus on or ask. So are the student engaged? So is the teacher supportive? This is done in this case, this is done using a structured way using the clear rules, just like so as stated that like someone from the outside, you have a checklist, a structured and the unclear rules that need to check if those are being adapted or happening inside the classroom. That is external observer using outside party from the class. So it can be a supervisor or just a stakeholder or a PTA, and so on. So next is we have the naturalistic inquiry, ethnography, case study, and interpretative assessment techniques. So this means using more detailed and flexible method to understand what the classroom is like. So the observer may spend a long time in the classroom to really get to know it. No? So they might watch interaction closely. So in this measuring, no, it can be another observer that it takes more time. Unlike the external observer, you have just to bring in this checklist and see what's happening. But in naturalistic way, in inquiry or in case study, is you have to spend a long time, not specifically a long time, in the classroom to really get to know it, to get a grasp of what's really happening, what's really being adapted, or what's the climate inside the class. So they might what are the expectations the observers gonna do is watch. You have to watch the interaction closely between the students and the student teachers. Write stories about what they see. Try to understand the culture and feelings inside the room. Okay. So next is we have the importance of classroom climate. So classroom climate is seen as a major determiner of classroom behavior and learning. Understanding how to establish and maintain a positive classroom climate is seen as basic to improving schools. The more adapted, the more well. I mean, the overall classroom climate is well. The overall classroom climate significantly impacts significantly impacts student learning, engagement, and overall well-being. No? If the students are comfortable, respected, valued, and many other things stated in the concepts, no? It affects it affects the student learning, engagement, and overall well-being. So when you are feeling good inside the room, of course, you are tend to focus more on something what is presented. No? And like I said earlier, that how can you give 100% of your focus when you're sweating inside your class? Or like, for example, the students are playing inside the class while someone is discussing in, no? When there's order, for example, where this order, no, it creates, it doesn't create more nuances, no? Now, when there's no order, there's a lot happening that you can expect when the student doesn't follow strict rules and other things, no? So another thing is the classroom climate foster a very good classroom climate fosters the sense of belonging, where they feel valued and respected. It enhances student learning. It reduces anxiety and fear of failure. Supports emotional and social development. Develops self-confidence, resilience, and positive self-image. This shows how important the classroom climate is, right? So it affects, especially when your students are kids, where the learning is very more important because we are. So next is another thing for the importance of classroom climate. It affects learning and behavior. No? It influences feelings and motivation. It impacts student development. It connects to school success. It matters even more for disadvantaged students. It reflects broader pressures. No? It affects learning and behavior. No? Positive classroom climate helps students stay engaged and behave better, of course, and learn more. A negative classroom climate can become a barrier and make it feel harder for both student and teacher. So, it influences feelings and motivation. And when students feel safe, supported, and respected, they are more confident. Right? When you, like for example, if we have a kid, kung kay anak, pag suportado kayo yung permintiin mong anak, like for example, na competition or na event, kung nakaka-perminti, ang ma-feel mo ang iyang feeling na kanang confidence siya. Inigtindog niya, inig musayaw, or di kaya mukanta sa stage. Unlike kung wala ka mismo ikaw mga parents na event para sa ang kanang mga anak mo good, like for example before sila mag-perform usually mangita yun na sila adapit mo amin iyang mama o papa sa mas kong anak kay hindi mo katakanta so ma-feel mo nga before sila mag-start is mangita yun sila adapit. I don't know, maybe it's just to make sure na makita din sila ba kung sa ilang kanilang effort makita nyo ilang performance. So I don't know, but to my presumption, kag-gain sila confidence pag ilang mga papa sa venue. This might not true to everyone, pero that's what I feel. Next is it impacts student development. A good classroom climate support students' academic, social, and emotional, not just that score. This is of course. No? You have when you have a good classroom climate, no, the student can be more focused and you have good social interaction, no, and emotional growth. No? Walay bully, walay mga daghang distraction, walay mga no? Daghang away-away, no? Neat and clean ang imong environment sa school, behave tanan, nalindot kayo sa pamilya. O sa teacher, pati na po sa student. Maka-feel sila daw marag, no, they belong. And so, next, it connects to school success. Studies show that classrooms with clear goals, good relationship, and low conflict tend to have higher student achievement. So, parehariya po itong iyon ganina. Kung naa sa order ang isa ka classroom, naa tanan halos tanan gina-lead sa estudyante, they feel good inside the classroom, no, they want to learn, the more they want to learn, no. If the student want to learn, the teacher more strive to be a better teacher and how to. So you kind of as a teacher, you kind of respond to the interests of your student. No, you want to match their interests. The more you can, the more you want to teach them. Okay. Next is it connects. It matters even more for disadvantaged students. Students from low-income backgrounds and who face discrimination often benefit most from positive welcoming. Yes, of course. No, okay. Inside the classroom, guy, natin na ilahi nga background, ilahi o ganing social status. No? May mga may tatuon, may kaya, natin mga alanganin. So, mas nindot pag welcoming kay pag katong mga alanganin atong or dili well off ng mga estudyante na ma-sense nila ba nga welcome sila. No, dili bitaw sila, so mas maka-benefit sila kung welcoming ang imuhang classroom climate, dili bitaw inyong mata-matahon ng sa estudyante. So mag-create na rin siya super conscious na kuan niya kasi hitupot na po siya or ginalantaw din ay ginahuna nga bati kay ginalantaw siya rin ginalantaw ano bitaw. So they benefit more usually. So next is it reflects bullying pressure. Too much focus on test scores and strict control can make the classroom feel stressful and overly controlling, which harm the classroom climate. It reflects bullying pressure. So dili daw maayo kung too much focus on when the teacher or the classroom environment is focused more on dapat pagkuha, no? Or it creates more mara siya gi-pressure mo sila nga kung i-expect mo sila nga permitted dapat pagkuha or sa example sa communication score, it creates pressure sila kung galingan, no, to perform. Now sometimes it is good, but sometimes it's also a bad thing, because it really depends on how the students adapt. So it varies from students to students. Okay, so for Mahoney and Hextall, the broader body of research on organization and economics suggests that increasing demands for higher achievement test scores and reliance on social and tangible rewards to control behavior and motivate performance to contribute to a classroom climate that is reactive and controlling. So sama to sige na sa last na to important, it reflects broader pressure is when the school focuses too heavily on test scores and use rewards or punishment to control students, No, the classroom can become a stressful and rigid place. No? Instead of feeling curious and motivated from within, no, students may feel more pressured, anxious. No? Samot na og na disparity sa may mga bright, din ako yung mga no, na dili well academically inclined student. So when you push all the students to have high score, of course, that will to score to mga bright. So ato mga less not academically inclined, dito mas mag-build up no, ang pressure sa mat na ma-feel nila mo dili nila ma-achieve yung kana na goal. So this creates a reactive and over-controlling climate where learning is less about growth and more about performance. No, mo din kasagara may tabo sa no. Correct me if I'm wrong, pero I feel na mo din ang kasagara nga nasa tuang nakitabo sa tuang classroom. I mean, not here but sa most of ako ang masulti sa mga dati. Now it focuses more on we're less about growth and more about performance. A healthy classroom should inspire students to learn because they find meaning in it. No? A healthy classroom, so remember this, a healthy classroom should inspire students to learn, no? Because they find meaning in it, not because they fear failure or chase prizes. That's a good thing. This reminds us that a true education should support the whole child, not just the test results. Very good kayo na statement, no? A healthy, I will repeat it again, a healthy classroom should inspire students to learn because they find meaning in it, not because they fear failure or chase prizes. And this reminds us that the true education should support the whole child, not the test results. So next is promoting how we can promote a positive classroom climate. Okay, so we have here a proactive approach to developing a positive classroom climate requires careful attention to. Number one is enhancing the quality of life in the classroom for students and staff. Second is pursuing a curriculum that promotes not only academic but also social and emotional learning. Next is enabling teachers to be effective with a wide range of students. And last is fostering intrinsic motivation for classroom learning and teaching. No? A good curriculum should not only teach students reading, math, and science, the academic learning, but also to help them build friendship, understand their feelings, and treat others with kindness. So that's the social and emotional learning. So it says that education should not just be the academic learning, but also the social and emotional learning. So positive classroom climate should be a welcoming, caring, and hopeful atmosphere. No? It should be social support mechanism for student and staff, an array of options for pursuing goals, meaningful participation by students and staff in decision making, and transforming a big classroom into a set of smaller units that maximize intrinsic motivation for learning and are not based on ability or problem-oriented groupings. So, a welcoming, caring, and hopeful atmosphere, what it means, the classroom feels safe, friendly, and encouraging. For example, the teacher greets students with a smile and show interest in their lives. No? That's why we have a teacher should not just barge in the class and then good morning and straight to teaching. No, they have to tap into their personal lives and just how You have to how well how what is their how well are their, for example, if it's Monday, no, what how well is their weekend, or what are the happenings or their interests, and so on. Next is for social support mechanism for students and staff. This means that everyone has people they can go for help. So that's why you have to, in this case, you have to, maybe adapt peer to peer, so that you can develop. The less academically inclined students can create bond or relationship with the with the brighter ones. So it creates a positive relationship, maybe. So whenever they want to ask something, they have people they can ask to, or they can run to. Example is a buddy system for new students, or a counselor available for teacher and students. So it's not just for student, but also a very welcoming guidance counselor, for example. So next is an array of options for pursuing goal. What it means is student can choose different ways to learn or complete tasks. For example, Latin students write an essay, make a poster, or give a short talk to show what they learned. So not just write an essay. Not just like students write an essay about this. So you can. So in that case, in that sense, you cannot tap all the strength of the students, because not all students are very good in writing. Because some are good in drawing and among other things. Okay. So 4 is meaningful participation by students and staff in decision making. So what this means is everyone gets a say in how things are done in the classroom. That's why we have officers, sets of officers in a classroom. So they have a say on what the rules that we want to be imposed inside a classroom. We have a vote or say. For example, letting students vote on classroom rules or choose topics for a project. So 5 is transforming the big classroom into small units that motivate learning, not by ability. Okay, what this means is breaking the class into small mixed groups to make learning more personal and fun. So for example, creating group activities where students of different skill levels work together or on a shared goals. So that's it. So next is providing instruction and responding to problems in a personal way. So this means that teaching and help are matched to each student's needs. For example, giving extra support to students struggling with reading while giving advanced tasks to others who are ready. Right? So you have to. This means that you have to cater all the shortcomings of each students. You have. You will not give the same support that you give to the less academically inclined, but also, you have to accommodate also the strength of your bright students. Of course, you will do sets of different activities in order to do that. Okay. So next is use variety of strategies for preventing and addressing problems early. What this means is fix issues before they become big problems. As what we say, prevention is better than cure. Example is talking to a student who seems upset before they act out in class. Right? You have to, before things get even bigger, you have to give attention to those things. Study naman ako. So 8 is a healthy and attractive physical environment that supports learning. You know what this means is, uh, the classroom is clean, bright, organized, and feels good to be in. No, mo to yun na to ganina nga. Dapat nindot pod ambience ang room, no, ventilation, lighting, ang chairs, no, dili gubaon, no, ang floor dili ugaw, wala basura, no, tanan. So example, a classroom with natural light, colorful poster, plants, and enough space to work comfortably. Okay, next is the role. So we have the role of school psychologists. No? School psychologists can play an increasing role by taking every available opportunity to work with teachers in your classroom and increase teacher competence and provide collegial support. You know, this means going beyond traditional consultation, about classroom management strategies and how to work with individuals manifesting behavior, learning, and emotional problems. So school psychologists can be invited to spend increasing amounts of time in classroom, teaming up with teachers to enhance classroom climate. Because they are more, very well equipped and understanding when it comes to understanding the behavioral. They have the strong. They are well equipped into the behavioral understanding with the students. So they have very they have very valid inputs in order to achieve a very good classroom climate. Because the college can work with its students, support staff to improve classroom climate by establishing and maintaining a positive school climate that promotes well-being and reduces barrier to teaching and learning. This is by Adelman and Taylor in 1997. So another role of school psychologists is assess students and families as they negotiate the many school-related transitions. Okay. Another is increase the home involvement in schools, respond to and where feasible prevent crisis, increase community involvement and support, and facilitate student and family access to specialized services when necessary. So mo sila mga roles sa psychologist na pwede niya ma-impart sa school or sa teacher and students and also sa family in order to achieve that desired good classroom climate. Okay, so conclusion, a classroom climate plays a major role in shaping the quality of school life and learning. Now, research has indicated a range of strategies for enhancing a positive classroom climate. School psychologists can play a major role in ensuring schools strive to create such a climate. Okay, so thank you. But earlier I have mentioned that, classroom climate is as much as emotional, physical, social, and environmental. So we have to also give meaning into those. So for emotional, the atmosphere is non-competitive and motivating and productively addresses stereotypes. No? Non-competitive and motivating. So the classroom doesn't focus on comparing students. Instead, it encourages everyone to do their best and feel good about learning. No? Next is the student backgrounds and the identities are valued. So motong ingon to ganina nga kung unsa man iyang background, iyang culture, religion, dapat ma-feel nila nga they are accepted, respected and valued. And students are allowed to make low-risk mistakes. It's okay for students to make small mistakes because it's seen as a natural part of learning, not something to be punished or embarrassed about. The keyword here is low risk mistake. Not just mistake, because there are mistakes that are detrimental to our life, health, or well-being. So when we say make mistakes, because mistakes are mistake or experience. You can learn from your mistakes, or one of the best teacher is experience. But you have to manage those mistakes in a low risk mistakes, because as I said, some mistakes are detrimental. No, not just to what I mean by detrimental is it can end things. No, it can be our life, status, and emotional, and many other things. So physical is students can interact with and see each other. Students can have equal access to physical and online materials, and the classroom is free from distraction. It's all about the physical environment and materials. The physical aspect, the classroom, and course delivery, such as classroom type, auditorium, for example, a small classroom, a lab, layout. Students sit facing the front of the room. Students sit in a small groups. Everyone sits in circle and medium. So this is all about the classroom setting, the physical aspect of the classroom. So social is the behavior, expectation are explicit. Next is the students have opportunities to work together. The instructor ensures equitable and respectful student interaction, and the instructor is approachable, of course, resourceful and proactive, and the instructor solicits and responds to students' feedbacks. This ensures that there should be a very good interaction between, or relationship between, a student and the teacher, as well as the student to student and the student to teacher. So the social aspect of the classroom climate refers to the relationship between students. It can be individualistic versus team-oriented, competitive versus cooperative, and between student and instructor. The instructor being approachable, authoritative to students, and the social atmosphere of the class. Okay, it can be casual, formal, or democratic and inclusive. Next is the intellectual. The lesson develops students' disciplinary knowledge, skills, and attitudes. Performance expectation are explicit. Students regularly practice disciplinary skills. Tasks are challenging, important, and authentic. The student receives prompt and specific feedback. So, and for the intellectual, as you can see here, it refers to the intellectual aspect of the course and class, such as the course content, the class discussion topics, and the course materials, textbooks, videos, screened in class, and the forms and levels of skill and knowledge that students are expected to demonstrate. So, mo siya tanan ang katong main focus ganina sa tuwang about the classroom climate. So, that's all. Thank you.